This morning, I accepted Jacqueline Quinn Villarroel's resignation as chief of the Louisville Metro Police Department.
And with that, she's gone. The Louisville Metro Police Chief, Jackie Gwen Villarroel, resigns this morning. And then the city widens the number of top LMPD commanders and staff members who are now on leave in the wake of a sexual harassment investigation.
Plus, a victim of a serial harasser targeted at her apartment complex is now suing that complex. Why she's calling for more safety and more warning.
Also ahead in this hour, the Surgeon General declaring gun violence is a public health crisis today. Why he's using such strong language. Right now on WHAS11 News at 5 o'clock.
We do begin right here at 5 with that breaking news. The LMPD chief of police is out, handing in her resignation to the mayor just hours ago. Now, Louisville native Paul Humphrey is the interim chief. He's been with the department since 2006. Thanks for joining us. I'm Shay McAllister.
And I'm Doug Proffitt. The now former chief Jackie Gwen Villarroel was barely on the job for a year. She was hired full-time as the chief just last July. Then over the last 2 weeks, one sexual harassment claim after another involving top leaders. 3 other officers today were put on administrative leave. They were all named in the multiple sexual harassment allegations that came to light in the last 2 weeks. They are Major Brian Kuriger, plus husband and wife Lieutenant Jeff Lauder and Major Shannon Lauder. With today's news conference, the mayor and now the interim chief, Paul Humphrey, announcing new reforms to LMPD sexual harassment policies.
Senior reporter Isaiah Martinez and senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton were there for the big announcement. So Isaiah, this is a major shift from someone the mayor put his full faith in and behind just a year ago.
Yeah, Shay, Doug, you were there for it. I was in the mayor's gallery when that announcement was made. It was just July of last year when Mayor Craig Greenberg stood up at that very same podium and said Jackie Gwen Villarroel was, quote, exactly what the community was looking for in a leader and chief. Now he tells us she handed in her resignation letter this morning amid waves of new controversy against LMPD. Now the page turns to Paul Humphrey, now the interim chief, who had strong words today.
The men and women of LMPD deserve to be proud of their department. We've had too many self-inflicted wounds over the years. The men and women who work here are really, really good people. They're good-hearted people who signed up to serve. We as a command staff are going to do everything in our power to make them proud to be part of this department.
Kentucky State Police.
And this comes as the independent investigation looking into Gwen Villarroel's handling of sexual harassment allegations continues. Mayor Craig Greenberg originally had said he'd make a decision on her future after the investigation was finished, but her resignation came first. Now, there were more changes announced today. The mayor and interim chief say they'll be overhauling LMPD's policies on addressing sexual harassment. We're told, one, allegations will now be handled similarly with how other branches of Metro government do. Claims can now be reported to anyone within the department, not just supervisors. They say all officers will also be required to complete new training. And finally, we're told resources and support for those directly impacted will be bolstered. Shay.
All right, Isaiah, thanks so much for the new information. We'll take in a closer look at how Gwen Villarroel is leaving the department. She'll continue to be paid for 4 more months. She was making just over $230,000, according to the Metro salary database.
And Paul Humphrey, the interim chief, is now the 6th person to lead LMPD since 2020 in either an acting, interim, or permanent capacity, starting with Steve Conrad, who was chief during the shooting death of Breonna Taylor. After that, LMPD brought in outside forces with Erica Shields serving as the next full-time chief. Gwen Villarroel came with Shields from Atlanta and took over when Shields stepped down, which brings us to today with Humphrey as the latest interim chief. By the way, you've been calling the rant line about today's breaking news since it was being announced. Your calls and emails are coming up as our coverage continues on this at 5:30. Call the rant line at 502-582-RANT. More of our top stories at 5. The Shelbyville, Kentucky man accused of killing his wife and mother-in-law was in court today. Investigators arrested 32-year-old Michael Hunt after he told them he, quote, had a job to take both females out. End quote. Deputies found a woman shot dead and another woman with life-threatening injuries at their home in the Cropper, Kentucky area of Shelby County Friday night. The other woman later died at the hospital. Investigators say after being questioned, Hunt admitted that he killed his wife, Emily Simmons, and mother-in-law, Beth Simmons. Today, prosecutors made a motion to amend his charges to reflect the second death.
It would be our motion to amend the attempted murder to murder. The second victim has died.
All right, Mr. Hunt, you are charged with 2 counts of murder. These are A felonies.
Hunt's bond was then set at $1 million there in Shelby County. His next court date is coming up Tuesday.
And no longer on the run, a Louisville man charged with attempted murder was caught by police last week, more than 3 months after he cut off his home incarceration bracelet mid-trial. Vernon Jackson was arrested Thursday after police attempted to pull him over for tinted windows. Police say he attempted to flee but was taken into custody. Jackson was originally charged with attempted murder for shooting at a Premier Gentlemen's Club on 7th Street Road in Shively in 2021. He's now charged with second-degree escape.
Now, one woman who was attacked last August is suing an apartment complex in Louisville she lived in for alleged negligence.
Hers was the 4th case in 3 months where a man attacked a woman out in the parking lot in the dark. It was the same case that prompted a warning from LMPD showing 6 specific instances of attacks against women in southwest Louisville. Ian Hardwick joins us now detailing the negligence claims against that department. Ian?
That lawsuit against River Breeze Apartments claimed the business knew of 2 previous crimes at the complex, but chose not to warn the people living there about that dangerous pattern. Did she know these things were happening at that time?
No, they had no idea.
In a lawsuit, David Barber claims River Breeze Apartments in Valley Station did not warn tenants, did not install cameras, did not improve lighting, and did not hire security after a pattern of violence against women developed in the area. These accusations come from a young U of L student living there who lost her teeth while fighting off the man who assaulted her.
It looks like something from a movie that you wouldn't want to be in. And she's got months of surgeries ahead and then a lifetime of having to deal with the trauma of this.
It was last August the young woman came home from work around 4:20 in the morning and faced her attacker, a man who hit her with a handgun. It was the 4th assault against women in 3 months at River Breeze Apartments, all of them fitting a similar profile.
If there are third-party criminal acts that are going on your property, then after 2, after 3, after several of them happen, then it becomes reasonably foreseeable, and Kentucky law says that is on you. You have a duty to try to protect your tenants.
Barber also showed us a copy of the notice the apartment complex sent out the same day his client was assaulted. They claim no other warnings were given beforehand. We asked the business owner for comment, but he declined and said he needed to speak with his lawyer first. Later, we asked for clarity on the warnings they posted, but received no response.
LMPD's original warnings of a man attacking women in southwest Louisville came the day of this young woman's assault last August. Hers was the 7th in 3 months. The department did arrest one man in January using DNA evidence in connection with one of those 7 cases. I'm live in studio, Ian Hardwick.
Ian, thank you very much. Louisville Metro Police also investigating 2 deadly overnight shootings that happened within 30 minutes of each other. The first shooting happening in just before 12:30 this morning. Police headed to an apartment complex on Bellamy Place that's right near U of L's campus. When officers arrived, they say they found 19-year-old Tayshawn Thomas inside one of the apartments, shot several times. Police say he died at the scene. About 30 minutes later, after police were called to South Jackson Street to reports of another shooting, officers arrived there. They found a young man lying right in the street. He had been shot several times. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Police also went ahead and said that right now there is no indication that any of the 2 shootings are related in any way. You can help detectives, of course, by calling the anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD.
Metro Police are crediting a detailed anonymous tip for helping them arrest an alleged dog fighter. The department says it led them to Lillian Avenue in South Louisville, where they arrested Kareem Garner for dog fighting and animal cruelty. They say Garner is well known for this across the region. 4 dogs were found in terrible condition on the property, some of them even sick with heartworms. We're told they are all getting care and treatment now at Louisville Metro Animal Services.
So if you went outside this morning, you said, hey, not too bad out here. But by this afternoon, it was like, whoa, what happened?
Now we're all just looking at those clouds, hoping and praying they're going to drop some rain on our property, Colleen.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get some rain here, even as little as 45 minutes. I mean, it is moving fairly quickly. Now, the thing about these storms, am I concerned with it? Only slightly. I don't think we have to be worried about any tornadoes or even some strong wind gusts. It's starting to weaken just a little bit. You can see over the past run, not showing as much red. So Scottsburg, you are under a severe thunderstorm warning and just on the fringe of Sellersburg. It was producing wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour with a lot of lightning and some heavy downpours. Now, if I was in the state of Florida, this would be a classic summertime setup here. But since we're in Kentucky and Indiana, they are warning this storm. And zooming on in closer to the communities, we're seeing a lot of lightning over Scottsburg up to Seymour right now. So on 65, if you're taking 65 north from downtown, you are going to want to take it slow. Now, looking at how much wind we're seeing, not really seeing any colors that are significant, so they're probably going to let that severe thunderstorm warning expire. I'd be surprised if they went ahead and extended it for Jefferson County. Also, some heavy rain in Paoli and Salem. Hopefully we can clock in a tenth or a quarter of an inch in some spots. Would be even better if we get a half inch. So here we are here in downtown Louisville, Jefferson County. It is moving off to the south and southeast, so we are going to get rain 6:04 Eastern time in just an hour. I think that's when we'll start to show you some of the cameras of the downpours. I'm going to time it out and show you that forecast model coming up. Doug, Shay.
All right, Colleen, thank you very much. The out-of-the-box solution to the JCPS transportation problem is expected to move forward today.
School District's board of JCPS School Board plans to discuss an agreement with TARC at tonight's meeting. Now, it's unclear whether it's going to come to a vote. Tonight, the JCPS board is going to talk about the plan TARC approved back on June 7th. That involves TARC leasing upwards of 70 drivers to JCPS to drive for the upcoming school year. On paper, this could be mutually beneficial for both parties. Last year's bus driver shortage and the nightmare issues with the new routes caused are still fresh in most people's minds. Plus, then back in April, JCPS told parents of magnet and traditional schools that it was going to be cutting many of the bus routes. A JCPS proposal shows that bringing in TARC could mean restoring some of those routes, and for TARC, it means keeping drivers employed.
It's an important step forward for us beyond just contributing to the community, because it means we're able to push out any potential layoffs. These are drivers that we're now able to keep working, we're able to keep folks supporting their family, and that's an important thing for TARC moving forward.
Right now, the plan is to integrate TARC drivers into JCPS in July, but that is only if the board votes to accept the agreement. Discussions are scheduled for tonight, along with an update on the state of JCPS transportation. That meeting starts at 6.
Coming up.